Let's solve some absolute value equations. Okay, the absolute value of x is equal to 7. Well, there are two numbers that have the absolute value of 7. One is 7 and the other is negative 7. That's about the simplest kind of problem that there is. Let's do another one. Absolute value of x plus 3 is equal to 16. Whoops, forgot my other symbol. Okay, so inside the absolute value sign, we have to have either 16 or negative 16, because those are the only two values that'll work. So we remove the absolute value and we have two possible solutions. X plus 3 equals 16, or x plus 3 is equal to negative 16. Well, if I subtract 3 from this side, in this case I'm going to have x, this cancels out, and x is equal to 13. If I subtract 3 from this equation, I have this canceling out, and x is equal to negative 19. Let's just put these back in the equation and see if they work. Absolute value of x plus 13, excuse me, let's see here. Okay, so the absolute value of 13 plus 3 is equal to 16. Well, 13 plus 3 is just 16, so the absolute value of 16 is equal to 16, so that works. How about negative 19 plus 3? Absolute value of that is going to be equal to, absolute value of negative 19 plus 3 is negative 16, and the absolute value of negative 16 is 16, so both of those solutions will work. Let's do another problem. 5 times absolute value of x is equal to 20. Okay, first thing I'm going to do before tackling the absolute value is I'm going to divide both sides by 5, because I can get the absolute value by itself and then I can do what I need to do. So this cancels out, so I have the absolute value of x is equal to 20 divided by 5, which is equal to 4. Well, the two numbers that will satisfy this are x equals 4 or negative 4, because either one of those works. Okay, that was easy enough. How about another one? 4 times absolute value of x minus 2 equals 80. All right, let's divide both sides by 4. And I get absolute value of x minus 2 is equal to 20. Now, I have to solve for what's inside the absolute value sign. So the two things that will make this true is if x minus 2 is equal to 20 or negative 20. So I'm going to say x minus 2 equals 20, or x minus 2 equals negative 20. If I add 2 to both sides on this equation, I get x equals 22. If I add 2 to both sides here, I get x equals negative 18. So let's try these, see if they work. So this is pretty complicated. I think I may need to erase some of this. So I'm looking for 22 and negative 18. I want to test those out. First I'm going to erase some of my work. Let's just rewrite it. 4 times, whoops, it's not a parentheses, it's an absolute value sign. 4 times x minus 2, absolute value, equals 80. So 4 times 22 minus 2, absolute value, equals 80. And so 4 times absolute value of 20 equals 80. And that's 4, absolute value of 20 is just 20. So 4 times 20 equals 80. And so that works. Let's do the other one. This is the harder one. The negative is always less obvious, so that always should be checked, even if you don't bother checking the positive answer. 4 times absolute value of x minus 2 equals 80. Let's substitute in negative 18. 4 times absolute value of negative 18 minus 2 equals 80. Negative 18 minus 2 is negative 20, so 4 times absolute value of negative 20 is equal to 80. And the absolute value of negative 20 is 20, so 4 times 20 equals 80, and that also works. Yay, we're done.